Hey guys, what's going on? Coming to you today with the Armada Wave 4 Liberty expansion pack. We just picked it up and we're gonna open this sucker up. And first, let's take a look at the box. We've got a little write-up on the back. If you want to read that, you can pause it. But yep, it is a beauty. Let's get this thing out. Got that. First, we're gonna take a look at the ship itself. Oh, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. So look at all of this. Look at all the paint that's on this thing. It's really got a lot of like browns and reds and rusts and you know, and just a lot of shading. I wonder if it's even a little too dark. You know. We got our lights are painted. And yeah, there's our wings. So, all right, nice look at the ship. Let's take a look at what else we're going to get in this large box here. This is the third large base ship for Armada. We've got our base here, and it's a large base. I'm going to set it up real quick just to put the ship on the base. And backwards. There we go. And so there we are, folks. There it is. Let's put it back now. And there. Now we've got all of our little pegs and styles, and we've got our rules insert for the Liberty and our component list. And yes, nothing special in there. It's other than just telling you that it's a large ship and it comes with a contain defense token. Okay, so we've got our cardboard here. We've got our insert, our top half and bottom half. Okay, and we've got, let's see, we've got our tokens, 2 braces, a redirect, and a contain. And our speed and all of our standard, our shields and all of our standard stuff. All right, now we've got our 2 cards. So we've got the MC-80 Star Cruiser card here. Now this is the cheaper variant. It comes in at 96 points. Really big frontal, first huge frontal firing arc for a Rebel ship, and that's awesome. Only 1 black, so weaker on the anti-squadron, or weaker range at least. And we got 8 hull, which is just monstrous. The really big thing about this is these 2 turbo laser upgrades right there. 2 turbo laser. And you also have the ion cannon on top of that. So a lot of offensive firepower in this thing. And that's just insane. That's just incredible. You know, so, and then we have the 103 point, our MC-80 battle cruiser. Now the big differences here are you have an extra black die. So 2 black for air squadrons instead of 1 black. Pretty good chance of getting a hit that way, and not an accuracy and not a crit, or not just a lone crit. But you've also got an extra red die on the front as opposed to a blue die, and an extra red die on the back as opposed to a blue die. So you upgrade 2 blue dice to red and add a black anti-squadron die, and that's basically it. Everything else about them is the same. So you're paying, you know, 6, 7, 8. Wow. Well, you're paying 7 more points for the die, the 1 extra squadron, and then the two up conversions from blue to red. But yeah, I mean, I think probably I'll end up playing the 96.1 a little bit more. But it just really depends. I mean, I just like to fit as many ships as I can in a build, and it's hard when you're looking at 100 points for the ship without upgrades. All right, let's see what we're going to get with this expansion. We got all these cards. Look at all these expansion cards. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's start off with General Madine. General Madine is your new commander, 30 points, so reasonably priced. When a friendly ship reveals a navigate command, it can spend a navigate dial. I'm sorry, when a friendly ship resolves a navigate command, if it spends a navigate command dial, it may increase 1 additional yaw value by 1. If it spends a navigate token, it may either change its speed or increase the yaw value by 1. So basically, in either case, you're getting an extra yaw that you would normally get, but well, the possibility of an extra yaw. So, except if you do the nav token, you want to do the yaw, you won't get the extra speed. So he makes nav way more useful, and that's great for the rebels, especially for some of the ships that aren't that maneuverable. So, like I think both MC-80s are going to benefit by this. I think the smaller ships aren't going to necessarily be like your Corellian corvettes aren't necessarily going to need that as much, but it's still a cheaper option and great for maneuverability. As a matter of fact, this can be really good with with some of the new options that we have now for if you want to get somebody in double arc. If you're not going with Akbar, which obviously you couldn't if you were doing him, you have a lot better chances to get people with double arc that way. So pretty cool. And we have Chart Officer. This one's new. After you execute a maneuver, if you overlapped an obstacle, you may discard this card instead of resolving the effects of overlapping that obstacle. So only 2 points. It's pretty nice, especially on a bigger ship. If you're going to end up bumping into something eventually, it'll help you ignore that. We've got Skilled First Officer. Only 1 point. Before you reveal a command, you may discard this card to discard your top command dial. If you just want to skip that top command dial altogether, it's only 1 point. I think this is the first 1 point upgrade I've seen. Well, we have a couple of 1 point upgrades coming. So we've got Medical Team. Before you are dealt a face-up damage card with the crew trait, you may discard this card to discard that damage card. So that's interesting. So for only 1 point too. I mean that's it's a great option to have. All right, especially for ships with a lot of hull. Engine techs. We got another engine techs here. Probably one of the greatest upgrades, especially for those ships that don't have the maneuverability. And as you do a nav command, you can move an extra speed, a 1-speed maneuver. We've seen those already. Veteran Gunners. While attacking, you may exhaust this card to re-roll all dice in your attack pool. This is huge. I just love this card. I love this card because, it's basically Darth Vader for everybody. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Or not everybody, but almost everybody. Fire Control Team. During the resolve damage step, you may exhaust this card to resolve 1 additional critical effect. You cannot resolve the same critical effect twice. Very cool ability. It's going to be very situational, but it's only 2 points, and it's a great way to make something like Dodonna's Pride cause you to take 2 face-up damage, and there's a lot of other options for that too. So very cool stuff. This is one of my favorite cards from this whole expansion pack. The Spinal Armament Modification. It's 9-point turbo laser slot modification. The battery armaments of your front and rear hull zones are increased by 1 red die. That's insane. That's insane. That's awesome. We only get 1 of them. I wish we would have gotten more in this pack, but that would have been really, really cool. Okay, quad turbo laser cannons. 10-point turbo laser. While attacking, if at least 1 red die has an accuracy icon, add 1 red die set to the accuracy icon to your attack pool. So it turns a red accuracy into 2 red accuracies, which are really nice. And it costs 10 points, but it really helps. Only problem is you're not guaranteed to always get that accuracy. So home 1 would be great with this, all right. MS1 Ion Cannons. For a blue crit, choose and exhaust 1 of the Defender's upgrade cards for 2 points. That's not too bad. This is going to be better, depending on the activation order. This is going to be situational, but it's only 2 points. A lot of really cheap upgrades that you're like, okay, this is only situational, but if for only 1 or 2 points, I can take it, right? All right, high capacity ion turbines. A modification. The battery armaments of your left and right hull zones are increased by 1 blue die. And this is a really cool, you don't see too many ion cannon upgrades that are really just great all the time. Like most of them, a lot of them are blue crits, or, there's a handful that I really like to use a lot, but this is a really nice one, and it's only 8 points. I think it's, I really like this one. I'm definitely gonna try to fit some builds into using that. Now we got our titles. We got 3 titles, so we're going to start off with Mon Caron. Alright, while attacking a ship, the defender cannot spend more than 1 defense token. That's huge. That's really, really good. And really excited about that, because now you don't really need... That kind of takes the place of XI7, you know? Kind of. Not exactly, but... at the start of the first round, this is Endeavor. At the start of the first round, gain the Contain defense token. So, well, that makes me want to go back. Oh, yes, because the ship doesn't have Contain normally. Oh, I had to do a double take there for a second. It doesn't have Contain naturally, but Endeavor can give it the Contain. And the Contain would be really good for this guy. And it's only a 4-point title, so it does make it a little tougher, a little bit tankier. So, not a bad option. Liberty. Alright, 3 points, cheap title. For Squadron Command, if you spent a Squadron token, you may activate 1 additional Squadron. So, great way. He basically turns Squadron tokens into 2 ship activations as opposed to just 1 Squadron activations. So, that's actually really, really cool, especially for somebody who is handing out tokens. Like if you've got Leia Organa on a CR90 out there somewhere passing the Liberty Squadron tokens, this is a great way to make him a carrier without having to dedicate him and build him as a carrier. So, very cool option. Like a lot of this stuff. I'm really excited to put some of these new upgrades into play. And one of the things we're going to do here is we're going to do a comparison between this and the MC80 so you can kind of see the size. Alright folks, so there is the MC80 right next to the Liberty. Now I don't know if you can fully see it, but the home one is a little bit longer. There we go, there's kind of a side-by-side. The home one is a little bit longer, but it's definitely way wider. Okay, yeah, that's a nice angle. But still is going to look gorgeous. Then here's a couple of other smaller ships, and we're like, hey, let's go take on the Empire. Okay. So this has been the Liberty expansion unboxing. I got all the rest of the Wave 3 and 4 stuff, so if you haven't checked out my other videos, please check them out. And as always, like, subscribe, and leave a comment, and all that good stuff. Thank you guys so much, and have a wonderful day.